AFTV, what can I say? I'm still gutted right now. I mean, 1 minute you think to yourself, wow, we've pulled it out of the bag. You know, great finish by Aubameyang, and then poor decision making by Leno, I think. Poor defending, even worse defending from the set piece, and again, you know, and out of the competition. That is a real shock.
I just honestly, like, I'm stunned. I really feel like a rabbit in the headlights. I can't actually believe what I've just seen, and I just find myself standing here, just replaying it in my head, and just I'm baffled. You know, I have to say, look, a few things. Let's cover a few things off. This is humiliating. To get knocked out at this stage of this trophy, of this competition, is humiliating. This isn't Champions League, where we're looking at teams that have got real danger and we get knocked out early like we used to. It's not that anymore. This is humiliation. So all the banter, all the stick, everything that we're going to get, let's take it. Because we did
all the hard work last week.
Yeah. Listen,
we've done the hard work last week.
Exactly. I'm not coming out with any excuses like the tracksuits that we wore before the game were too heavy and they gave us weak legs. No silly excuses for us this time. That was embarrassing, absolutely humiliating. We've got to take it on the chin. That's the first point. The second point, I don't think it was bad decision making by Leno. It was just a bad touch. It happens in football. It was a really, really bad touch. He got closed down well, had to stick it out for a corner. The bad decision making after that was our defensive line, when we dealt with after the ball had been cleared, half cleared, and it came back in. I don't know whether the fact that their keeper had come up maybe took our focus off defending. I felt like we had started thinking about attacking before we had finished thinking about defending. And for me, that's where the bad decision making was. And then if I said to you, or if I said to anyone in N5, we get one chance in the last minute of the game, 6 yards out in front of goal, who do you want it to fall to? Every single one of us would have said Aubameyang. And I'm not going to blame him. In fact, look, there's three things you can do. You can criticise him, you can say nothing, or you can send him some love. And I'm going to send Aubameyang some love. The guy's been phenomenal for us this season. So listen, no one, no right-minded Arsenal fan is going to give you any stick for that. You're a hero. You're an absolute legend here, because look at the goal he scored before that. Look at the goals he scored week in, week out. This happens as a footballer. Okay, this happens as a footballer. So Aubameyang, head up. For me, that's forgotten. We'll let you off.
Problem is now is trying to keep him, because there's been a lot of talk about Champions League football is what it takes to keep a player of that caliber. Wow. That's looking very unlikely now, isn't it? I mean, but look, there's no chance to get well. That way's gone. It's only through the league, and we're going to have to pull off a miracle to do that.
Listen, you've been asking me in recent weeks, what do you think is going to happen in the league? And I've avoided the question. I said I'm not looking at the league table, because the truth is I don't think we're going to get fourth. I don't think fifth is going to be an option. That you can see now they've gone to appeal, and I think that will take a long time. I don't think that's all going to get resolved. So I wouldn't be surprised even if they miss one season. If it's not next season, it's the season after that. I don't think we can count anything on fifth place this season. I just hope that Aubameyang, I hope that I don't want him to feel bad about it, but the fact that he missed that chance, I hope that he thinks, you know what, no, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to make it up to the team. Not that he has to make it up to us at all, because he's been brilliant, as I've said. But look, for us, before this game, we're talking about winning the Europa League to get in the Champions League. Now we're going to talk about winning the FA Cup to try and get in the Europa League. In the Premier League, we might not even finish in the positions we need to get Europa League. The season is a mess. It's an absolute mess. And what I don't understand, Robbie, the real confusion for me is that we were unbeaten this year. I don't know where that performance came out of. I don't understand it. I accept that maybe the players might have thought the job is done, but Arteta, at this early stage of his career, would not have let them get that complacent. I looked at the lineup, I agreed with it. I didn't see anything wrong with that. I don't understand what happened. But do you know what? Looking at it from like a tactical viewpoint, they put on a clinic. Olympiacos, I know none of us want to hear it right now, but I'm going to say it anyway. They put in a clinic of a European performance against a better side.
Their defending was
brilliant. They were brilliant. Yeah. Bayern, Cisse, bloody hell. They were brilliant. And I just have to say, do you know what? Hands up to them lot, because they had hardly any space to get pockets of space in between their midfield line and their defensive line. It was a brilliant clinic of defensive performance. But for us, when you're faced with that, what you need is bravery. And when I say bravery, I don't mean diving into tackles. I mean being brave in terms of playing that pass with conviction, making that run with conviction, and we didn't do that. There was no movement. The only time I saw movement was a spell of Pepe for about 20 minutes, and even then he needs to have better end product. And then when Martinelli came on, there was a bit more movement there. We looked flat today. But if you're not going, if you're going to be that poor off the ball, you're going to be very easy to defend against. So yes, Olympiacos put on a clinic, but boy, we did not respond to that at all. And now look, you know, Arteta's going to have to. He's going to have to lift this team now, because this has really made our season a mess. We're going to... Now, the only chance of silverware we've got is the FA Cup. And the sad thing is, to win the FA Cup, we're going to have to beat at least one team better than any team we would have had to face in the Europa League to win this competition. The FA Cup's harder to win. You're telling me we're not going to have to face Man City or Liverpool? You know, listen, man, the season's a mess. It's a bit of a write-off now, to be honest with you. But listen, Leno, bad touch. You've been a brilliant player for us this season. He's been one of our players of the season. Aubameyang, you missed a chance. Look, it happens, it's football, but you've been brilliant for us. As fans, we need to support our players now, and they need to really reflect and figure out why the hell they were so flat and why they've made our season a mess now. But that's it, I'm going to go sulk and go home.